Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a little bit of an impromptu video. I wasn't planning on filming today, but I did receive the PR box for AURIC last night and I posted on my Instagram. You guys wanted a dedicated first impression, so we're gonna play with the products. I'm gonna demo them, swatch them, give you my thoughts, give you close-ups of my skin. We don't use filters around here, so you're gonna see pores, texture. Also, I have a combination skin type, so we'll see how these products work on somebody that is not dry. Typically, I go for more matte products, but I'm so excited to try these. If you're not familiar with AURIC, this is a new beauty brand founded by Samantha Ravndahl. Samantha, I'm sure we all know who she is. I followed her for years before I even started my YouTube. I used to follow her tutorials. She looks sort of like me, so I kind of gravitated towards her. More recently, Samantha has been opening up in her content about depression, anxiety. I myself suffer quite heavily with those. Just watching her videos opening up, I felt like I resonated with her even more. She would talk about depression and I would be like, that's me. I know that feeling. I feel that feeling. Somebody that I could relate to was really being open on her YouTube channel, made me feel not alone, because it's really hard when you're in depression and you're not, you know, rainbows and sunshine every day, but you have to kind of, you know, portray this really happy persona. So I really like that she keeps it real in her channel. More recently, Samantha did hint at having a makeup line coming. A lot of times influencers will talk about like projects and sometimes they don't always come to fruition. So I was kind of just not gonna hold my breath, just because a lot of times people will talk about like a makeup line and it's not coming for like 12 months. I feel like she did it at the perfect time because it was kind of building up the anticipation, and then she said it was launching in January and I was like, oh my God, that's exciting because it's like right around the corner. She did reach out to me and asked me for my address, said she wanted to send me PR. To be honest, I was shocked just because I've supported her and followed her, but we're not, you know, like besties, and I just really, you never know who's gonna recognize you in this space. So that was just really, I don't know, it was exciting for me because I would have purchased it either way. So in this line, she did release 2 products. We're gonna go over all of the products. I wanna tell you a bit about the brand first. So it's called AURIC, and on the card that comes in the PR, it says there's an old saying, gold is where you find it, which means that value is determined by each person individually. For us, gold is found when we lift each other up and work together. We believe in accepting, encouraging, and promoting all different versions of beauty. That's how we grow and thrive artistically and creatively. That's a little background about the naming of her beauty brand. And on the back, it has the 2 products that she released to start. So the first one is a Glow Lust Radiant Luminizer. So this is $45. It comes in 7 shades, but what I will say is these are not foundations, and I think a lot of people maybe see an image and think this is a foundation. These are not foundations. They are radiant luminizers, so they're kind of like the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. That's one of Sam's favorite products. Right when I saw the promo, I was like, that's what it's gotta be. So it says, for those of us who lust for luminosity, packed with ultra-fine pearl and skin-loving mix of squalane, glycerin, and propanediol, this artistry-grade adjustable formula gives you instant radiance and hydration. It can be worn alone, blended with your favorite skincare, or used as a highlighter on top of foundation. Now, I've also seen Sam say that she will mix it in with her foundation, so you can kind of do whatever you'd like to do. When you watch her release video, there's tons of shots of different models. She explains who's wearing what. She explains that she herself can wear 3 different shades, so it seems that you don't have to necessarily use one shade. You can kind of be in a range, and that's why there is 7 shades. The other product she's releasing is called the Smoke Reflect. This is a cream and powder eyeshadow duo, $39. A smoke show and a jar. Heads will turn with these eye-catching shadow duos. Create creamy matte or metallic glitter looks with 2 luxe formulas in a single package. Under the top is a light reflecting micro glitter eyeshadow infused with high shine pearls. Inside the glass is a smooth long wear creaseless cream shadow. There are 3 different shades in here as well. So I will be swatching everything. We'll be demoing them. We're just gonna play with the products. So if you were buying these as a consumer, you're gonna sit down and play around. We're going to apply the Radiant Luminizer in a few different ways. We're gonna play around with the cream duo shadows. I will have all the information down below that I can find, the Instagram, and if her website is up. These are releasing January 26th. I will put the exact time down below, but I'm really excited to play around. I wanna give you some close-ups of the packaging. Oh my God, the packaging. We haven't even got there yet. So if you're new here, I would love for you to subscribe. That was a long intro, but I had to give you all the information, and let's go ahead and zoom in and get started. This is what the PR box looks like. She did send all 3 shades of the eyeshadow duos, but then she did include 3 shades shades of the Radiant Luminizer because she said it's kind of universal in the sense that you can use multiple shades, play around whether you're highlighting, mixing with your base, whatever. So she did send me the 3 lightest shades, which I think will be perfect. That's what she herself uses. Let's talk packaging. Here's the outer carton, and I have to say, wow, I don't believe I've seen a beauty product with this type of packaging. To me, it's very unique. This looks extremely expensive. It feels heavy. It has this beautiful carton that's just this matte black with the information on the back, but the front is just absolutely divine. I have to say, the marketing, the visuals, everything about this really stunned me. In terms of the component, once you get it out of the box, this is what it looks like. I have to say it's very heavy, very luxe feeling. Has the logo in gold on here, and then you do have the gold drips on the side with the logo on the top, frosted glass bottle, and then you do have the shade on the back. I do want to note that these are 35 ml. She said she wanted to make them quite large so that you could use them really for anything, whether you're using them on the body, whether you're a makeup artist, so you're not going to run out. She also did note that she made the cap quite difficult to take off because if you're a makeup artist or you're traveling, you have these in your kit. She didn't want this spilling everywhere. So it really is kind of suctioned on there, so definitely yank a little bit harder to get it off. She also did note that the pump is very special, and she went through a ton of pumps. Also, that you can kind of control what comes out, so you're not, you know, barely pressing down and it's shooting out everywhere and you're wasting product. So we will kind of play around with that as we start. The 3 shades that Samantha did send for me were the same 3 that she uses, as I mentioned before. So the lightest shade is called Morganite, the second lightest shade called Selenite, and then the kind of medium shade is called Pyrite. I wanted to go ahead and give you some heavy swatches and some blended out swatches of the 3 shades that she sent. So we have Pyrite here, which is supposed to be that golden kind of olive, and then we have Selenite in the middle. Seems a little bit more yellow toned, and then the lightest shade here is called Morganite, which is a little bit more champagne pinky. So now I've used much less product. I want to show you what they look like more blended out. So we have Pyrite here, again, that olive toned. The middle is Selenite, which is a little more yellow. And then we have Morganite, which is that pinky one. So now that I've gone over swatches and about the brand, let's get into the demo. I'm gonna start off with my Tatcha Dewy Serum. I've really been enjoying this, and I haven't put down anything on my skin yet. So I wanna make sure that I'm hydrated before we go in with the products. Now, for reference, I do have a combo skin type. I do have textured skin. So for me, not setting my foundation is not something that I do. So I will be setting foundation after we use the products. So we will play around because I know not everybody is cream product focused. I do have cream products that I like, but I'm not all cream products. Me and Sam actually have very different skin types and also just makeup preferences, but I have used the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter and I didn't have a problem with it. I just have to use it in a different way. I'm gonna do my best to use all 3 shades and try different ways of applying. So what I'm gonna do is under my foundation, I'm gonna go in with the shade Selenite. So this is the second lightest shade, the medium shade that she sent me. These caps, really, she wasn't kidding. You have to really pull them off so these are not gonna leak. So I'm gonna take about half a pump here, and I'm gonna take a brush and apply this to the high points of my face. So really going, wow, it's really pretty. The texture is kind of hard to describe. It is kind of in between like a tinted moisturizer and a liquid illuminator. I'm gonna take some up here on the forehead. And you can already see the glow. Going to go down the center of my nose. Also going to take some right on the top of my Cupid's bow, and then I'm going to use the rest on my chin. So it feels nice and hydrating. It doesn't feel greasy or anything like that. you can definitely see the glow. Let me zoom you in. So obviously you can see the glow that I'm getting. It looks absolutely stunning. It doesn't seem to be enhancing my texture, which is one thing that Sam did note, that it's a little bit less enhancing than the Charlotte Tilbury. That was one of her goals. I quickly went ahead and applied some pore smoothing primer right here in my T-zone. I do that every time I do my makeup, just because I do have large pores and I want to make sure that I really smooth them out. For foundation, I'm going to go in with my Too Faced Born This Way matte. This is one of my favorite foundations, and I want to see how these products play with somebody that wears a matte foundation. I like something that locks in and locks down. So I'm going to go in with 2 pumps of this, and then I believe I'm going to take the shade Pyrite, which is the third from the lightest. This is supposed to be the olive tone. I'm hoping it's going to give me more of a bronzy glow. So I'm going to take a pump of this, 2 pumps of my Too Faced, and kind of see how it applies all over the skin. So here is what the concoction is looking like. I'm going to go ahead and just swirl everything together. And I'm interested to see how this will apply on the skin, just regarding my texture. So I am going to be using a sponge. I do feel like I look quite glowy, even though this is a matte foundation, but it's still giving me the coverage I want. It's not enhancing texture, but I do look super glowy, which obviously is the point of this product. So this is what our skin is looking like just with the foundation mixed in with Pyrite. So definitely seeing that glow all over. If you have textured skin, maybe omit right where your pores are, but other than that, I'm loving the glow on my forehead and just on the tops of my cheekbones. And then once we add the lightest shade on top when we're finished, I feel like it's really gonna pop. So I'm gonna quickly jump off camera and finish up the rest of my face, and then we're gonna jump into the eye products. I did the rest of my makeup aside from my eyes. I will link everything down below that I used, but I did my normal routine setting with powder, then going over with bronzer, blush, did my lips. I have to say I do feel a little bit more radiant in the center of my forehead. And I did not apply a highlighter because we are gonna go in with that Radiant Luminizer on top to finish off. So let's go ahead and jump in to the eye products. So these are the Smoke Reflect Cream and Powder Eye Duos. So this is what the outer packaging looks like. Absolutely gorgeous with that beautiful box. Here's the actual component. The logo is on the top in gold, as well as right here on the frosted glass. When you flip open the top, you have the powder glittery topper with a little mirror. And then when you twist off the top, you have the cream shadow inside. So there's 3 shades. Let's go ahead and swatch them first, and then we'll get into trying them on the eyes. So the first shade I'm gonna swatch is Temper. This is the cream shadow alone. This is the topper alone, and then both of them layered. I will insert some close-up shots. I would describe this shade as sort of a neutral taupey rose gold. The next shade I'm swatching is called Defiance. I have the cream shadow alone here, the powder topper alone here, and then layered them together here. This one seems like a bronze base with a really light champagne glittery topper, and you can see how different it looks layered on top of each other. So the last shade is called Ego. Here are the swatches. So the base alone, the topper alone, and then layered together. This one is gorgeous. This color story is quite unique because you have kind of a smoky gunmetal, but the topper has a little bit of a green tint to it. When you put them together, they are stunning. I went ahead and used a transition powder shadow in my crease just to give me a base. I will link the palette I used down below, but I believe I'm gonna go in with the shade Defiance. I'm a little bit worried or scared, I guess, with cream shadows just because they're not like my typical thing. But I'm basically going to start applying this on the lid, and I'm using a little bit of product because I really want to use this as a base and go in with the shimmery shade to really make it pop. So I'm just using my finger and building up slowly. It's applying really easily, so that is nice. That's what it looks like alone, but I'm gonna jump right into the topper just because I have a little bit of a tack and I want this to really pop. So this is what it swatches like, super beautiful. Oh, it's so pretty. It gives you like that glittery, ooh, topper. So having that base underneath almost gives you attack like a glitter glue kind of situation, but I'm assuming you can use them alone as well. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye. They're pretty easy to work with. I'm not struggling by any means, and I'm not, as I said, a cream eyeshadow pro. They're not super stiff, meaning that I can move them with my finger, but they're not slipping either. So you can sort of manipulate them. I don't really know what the dry down time is, but I just want to be sure I could stick the top on, the glitter topper on. All right, so we're going back in. Ooh, look how pretty that is. So when I tap it on, yeah, I feel like a little bit of a tack still. So, and again, bringing it kind of up so it just has that sparkly effect. So I'm gonna quickly jump off, throw some lashes on, and then we will get into applying the Radiant Luminizer to the face and my final thoughts. So I went ahead and finished up my makeup, and I want to finish off this first impressions with using the Radiant Luminizer in Morganite on the tops of my cheekbones. Really see how it plays over powder, over a set face. I'm gonna be very careful, but this is the lightest shade. I do feel that I already look quite healthy and dewy, but I want to just try this in all the ways possible. So I pumped out a little bit on my hand. I'm going to take a tiny bit on a Real Techniques brush, and I'm using a very light pressure. You can also use your finger. So I'm going to take a tiny bit right on the center of my nose as well. So I actually think maybe the fingers work best to tap this on top, but it doesn't seem to be disrupting. It's giving me a beautiful glow. I'm also gonna put just a little bit on my chin area. All right, guys, here's my finished makeup look using the new products from AURIC. I had to throw my hair back up. I tried to do this slick back and it just won't cooperate. So let's start off with the Radiant Luminizer. I really like this product. I will say if you're oily or combo, I would not mix it in with your foundation like I did, just because I'm noticing a little bit more just dewiness, which is obviously the point of this product. So what I would do is apply it before, as I did, then put your matte foundation on, and then you could tap it on after to give you that really lit within glow. So that's what I would do. If you love dewy products or Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter, you're going to love this. I think the packaging is luxe. For me, I would probably go with Morganite or Selenite because I would use this more, as I said, as a highlighter rather than a mix-in product for me. But I could use Pyrite as well, as you saw. I feel like I look very healthy and hydrating. The place that I'm really enjoying it the most is actually my forehead. My forehead doesn't tend to get oily or break up. It's really more so around here or my chin. So I may even add some on my forehead, mix it in with my foundation then, but pleasantly surprised with this. I think she knocked it out of the park. This is something that I know Sam loves. I could see her using this every single day, but I just feel like I look quite healthy, but I don't feel greasy or anything like that. In terms of the eyeshadows, I think they are stunning. I love the one I used, which is called Defiance. I think you honestly cannot go wrong with these. And I was a little intimidated with the shade I used, Defiance, because the cream side is quite dark. But as you can see, it blended in beautifully with the shadow I used. You could use these one and done. For me, I just threw something in the crease. That way it just kind of blended into it. The star of the show though for me is the toppers. I think they're gorgeous. I have to say, quite impressed with the formula of these products. They feel luxe. They work. I didn't have patchiness. I didn't struggle using any of them. I think she knocked it out of the park, coming out with 2 products to start that are really great quality and then expanding with time. I really am excited to see what she does. I'm waiting on the cream blush though. I have to say, the cream blush, I'm wearing a cream blush right now. I have been converted recently and I'm all about a cream blush. So that's what I want to see the most from her. So that is everything for my first impressions on AURIC. Of course, I will keep using the products, playing around with them. I'll include some of them in some trying new makeup. We'll just play around with different colors. I really want to get into that ego shade, that really gunmetal shade, but I will leave all the information down below that I know about this so far, the launch, the time, the website, and Sam's video. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I hope this helped you out in some capacity if you were thinking about buying it. If you're new here, I would love for you to stay a while and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.